What is your favorite embarrassing story about each other?
Daniel, there's a little Asian girl passed out on the couch. Can you explain this?
Hi everybody! It's Rose and
Daniel.
And welcome back to Cheap, Lazy, Vegan and another mukbang! Woo!
I love mukbangs.
Yeah, today's another episode of Munching Mondays. What is Munching Mondays, Dan?
Munching Mondays is when you just eat a bunch of food on camera.
Munching Mondays is my mukbang series. So on Mondays, I do mukbang videos. So if you haven't yet subscribed and you like mukbang videos, don't forget to subscribe. Today, guys, we have something special. First of all, Daniel is visiting from London.
Yeah.
He's visiting home. He's gonna die under these lights any minute now. It's very hot. So to celebrate Daniel coming home, I decided to feed him a bunch of food from my cafe. So if you guys didn't know, I have a vegan cafe here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It's called SaVeg Cafe, and we do all vegan food and coffee and smoothies, and this is basically some of the food from my cafe. I was gonna do like the entire main menu, but you know what, I think this might be enough food.
I think so.
So to drink, we are going to be drinking some bubbly, not sponsored. Also, you can get this at my cafe. Have you tried this yet, bubbly?
I haven't, no.
Okay, it's so good. I'm like addicted.
I'm excited. I'm also really excited to try this food because...
Ooh, yeah, Daniel hasn't tried my food yet.
No. I've been to your cafe before, but like...
But you know, he's just loitering, not supporting local business.
I'm just loitering.
Waiting until I feed him for free. The shade! I'm just kidding, guys. Daniel's the best. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
Ooh, that is refreshing.
What do you think? It's refreshing, isn't it?
It's like I'm glad the taste isn't like too overpowering. It's like subtle.
Yeah, it's very subtle. Okay, should we just dig in?
Well, can you explain the dishes to me?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna like quickly go through what we have here. Okay, this isn't exactly how we would normally plate things, but you know, not every day is a mukbang day. So right here is our japchae, which is Korean glass noodles. These are stir-fried glass noodles, and I swear they look better when, you know, we actually serve it to, you know, customers. But this is like the best japchae ever. Okay, guys, my mom has always made the best japchae ever. You've actually tried this.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah. Your mom is an amazing chef.
It's so good. So this is the best japchae ever. With japchae, we serve it with dumplings. So we got some dumplings, pan-fried dumplings here. Over here is our no eggs beni, which I've eaten on one of my mukbang videos before. It is so bomb. It is so good. It is basically a vegan version of an eggs benedict.
I've been dying to try one of these.
It's so good.
Every time me and Rose are like messaging, I'll be like, Rose, as soon as I'm in Calgary, I need to try one of these.
Now it's kind of cooled down, so I'm kind of sad, but it'll still be tasty. This is our house special, which is basically like a spicy dish. It's made with air-fried sweet potato and tofu, and then we toss it in this really yummy spicy sauce. The spicy sauce, we make it in-house. It's basically a sauce that's normally used for Korean fried chicken.
Ooh.
And it's a sauce from one of my aunties from back in the day, because she used to own like a fried chicken shop.
Yeah.
So that recipe is pretty much kind of her recipe, but we kind of tweaked it a little bit. But of course, this is completely vegan. It's just sweet potato and tofu, and we usually serve it with rice. But I think, you know, we got rice over here, we got lots of rice.
Yeah.
And then this right here is our tofu veggie rice bowl, like a tofu veggie stir fry with Korean barbecue sauce, which again we make in house. Yeah, we serve it with rice, and that's the food. We have more food in the cafe. Check out the link down below if you guys want to check out our menu. Should we just eat?
And if you're ever in Calgary, definitely go to SaVeg Cafe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay,
I'm excited to try this one.
Yeah, I know you're dying to try that one.
Because it just smells delicious. Oh yeah, that's good.
I love that one. I would say this one's probably one of our most unique ones. I want you to try the beni.
Okay. Don't have to tell me twice. It's gonna be a bit awkward cutting with this butter knife. I should have got a sharper knife, maybe.
I bet you that all in one bite. Really?
No, I have to probably have 2 bites. But... Okay.
That's a pretty big bite.
It's huge. Okay, I'm having some difficulties here.
Okay, so Dan's having issues.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep eating while Dan's having issues.
Oh God.
Eat all the food.
This is actually like, I'm making a mess out of this. I'm cutting it again. There we go. Perfect. Okay, that's like a more normal sized bite now. Oh my God.
Right?
That is so good.
It's so good.
And so like, the sauce is like really creamy as well. It's like really, the wait was worth it.
Oh my gosh. So I asked you guys on Instagram to ask us questions. Let's see if we got some questions. Oh, we did.
Oh my God, you got them already.
Uh-huh. The first question I see is, what is your favorite embarrassing story about each other? Do we want to do this? I'm trying to think of one. There's like a million.
I know we have a lot of stories because obviously, like, those of you that don't know, we met when we were in uni. Mm-hmm. It was like, was it our second year, right? I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in our stats class, and everyone that's been to uni knows, you know, uni times are crazy. So we have lots of stories.
I'm trying to think of one.
One that's PG enough for the camera.
That's what?
PG enough for the camera.
Yeah, this is. I feel like our stories are too.
I mean, they're not like that bad. It's just like we go out, we sometimes have a little bit too much to drink. You know.
Oh my God, I can't think of one that's like appropriate. Do you have one for me?
Not that.
It's all drunken stories, isn't it?
There's a story about my passport.
Oh yeah, I'll tell the story. It's not really embarrassing though, is it?
Well, it's kind of just like me being stupid.
Which is an everyday occurrence.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But what about one for you? Oh, I have
Do
a
you
really
know
good
one?
Yeah.
Okay, you tell.
So it's not like, it doesn't involve drinking or anything, but it was after.
What?
Yeah, surprisingly. Actually, I think there might have been some drinking.
What are you telling?
You'll see. But after Rose left London, she like did this like kind of Europe trip throughout Europe, and I don't know how this happened, but like literally everything that could go wrong on this trip with like her bank cards, didn't you lose your phone on like the first day or something?
I don't know, it was a mess.
And basically, yeah, Rose was just an absolute disaster. So now I've come up with this nickname whenever I go traveling with Rose. I'm always like, is Rose coming or is it going to be like European Rose? Because like if European Rose is there, I'm scared for all of our belongings and everything. So
yeah, everything went wrong.
It was crazy.
I couldn't access my cards. Thank God I was traveling with somebody at first. But I'm trying to think of stories. You could tell the one when we went to that house party. And I woke up in your... Why am I telling this about myself?
Oh yeah, oh no.
I woke up in your basement.
Oh my God, yeah. Me and Rose went to this, one of my friend's house parties, and it was like, I had just finished my last exam, and I finished it like, it was one of the evening ones. So we ended up getting late to this house party anyway, because everyone had already started drinking, and we got there at like, I think like 10:30 or something ridiculous.
And how old were we, like 19?
I think 19 or 20.
Yeah.
So we were really young, keep this in mind. And then basically we decided that we were gonna play catch up with everyone, so we started doing a lot of shots, and it rapidly escalated. So long story short, Rose came to stay at my house. And it was me, and I think it was your friend Vanessa actually, that we were like carrying Rose to my front door. And then I
passed out in the other house.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then we're like, Rose, you have to go. Like, come on.
And I have no recollection of any of this. Okay.
And then the best part is though, is we get to my house and I had forgot my house keys. I was like, oh God. So I had to like wake up my parents. My mom answers the door and Rose kind of like fell into the house onto my mom. Do you remember that? Oh no, you wouldn't remember. But she just kind of like, my mom's like really small too. She's like 5'3". So she opens the door. Rose just falls on her basically. My mom's like, oh my, what is going on? And I was like, Mom, don't worry. Like I'll sort this out. Like it's fine. So we put her in the spare bedroom downstairs. And then Rose wakes up in like kind of almost in the morning and is like disorientated, thinks she's still at the house that we were having the party. So she decides to like look around. So she goes into my room, takes my phone, then goes upstairs. And during this time, my dad had like
Wait, why did I take your phone?
Because I think you were gonna try to contact somebody or I have no idea. And my dad during this time went to go get a shower, and when he went to have a shower, there was no one in the living room. So he goes, has a shower, gets ready, and then as he's walking, all of a sudden there was Rose. She'd come upstairs and just like passed out on my couch. So my dad's like, first my dad was scared. He's like, oh my God, who's in my house? And then he goes downstairs and he was like, Daniel, there's a little Asian girl who passed out on the couch. Can you explain this? I was like, oh my God.
And I hadn't met your parents yet.
That's how Rose met my parents.
I can't think of one for you, which is weird.
I know that is.
Because I know there's a lot. Well,
I
can think of some, but like I can't say it on camera. I'm sorry, guys. This is not PG enough for me.
Oh God, people on your channel are gonna think I'm crazy.
You are crazy.
It's not that it's like really like that bad. It's just like more. It is really embarrassing. For me.
Okay. Well, I will tell you the story of when Daniel. So when Daniel first moved to the UK. So if you guys don't know, Daniel and I were from Calgary here. So we grew up in Calgary, but I wanted to move to the UK for a couple of years to do a working holiday visa. So I was trying to convince Daniel to come with me because we were good friends. And Daniel like freaked out and was like, I don't want to go unless like I have a job or I have a reason to go. So he actually ended up applying for a master's program in Newcastle while I was in London as well. So he was on his way to London. So one thing about Daniel is that he was born in the UK. So he actually is a UK citizen, but you didn't get your passport or something?
Yeah, so like basically the uni said when I arrived, because I didn't have my British passport, but it's just stupid because I had all my other documentation. I'm like, I didn't know the passport is the only way to prove that you're a citizen of that country. They basically said to me that I was on the wrong visa on my Canadian passport. I needed to get a British passport. It was really,
in order to be a student there.
Yeah, in order to be a student. Otherwise, I'd be considered an international student. I'd have to pay international fees.
No. Let me rewind. So before he moved, I told him, I was like, you need to get your passport. You need to get that sorted.
Yeah.
But then he decided, oh, it's probably going to be fine, and just came to the UK without getting his British passport. Mistake number one. And then they told him, actually, you need your British passport. So basically, you didn't have your shit together.
Yeah.
And then what'd you do, Dad? Let's relive these memories.
Oh God, it was a traumatizing time. Like, basically,
I did feel bad for you.
It was so horrendous. So basically, the uni said that they could give me a temporary visa for 3 months while I was getting my passport. But in order for this temporary student visa to work, I had to like leave the country and then re-enter. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll book a trip really quickly. So I booked a trip to go to Dublin in Ireland, which is not technically part of the UK. So you would think, okay, it's not Northern Ireland, it's a completely different country, so this should be fine. So as I'm coming back, and this is like a day before I had to register for my classes, I get back into Newcastle, and the customs guys, they didn't stamp me or anything, and I was like, what is going on? Like, why haven't you guys stamped me? And they're like, oh, there's a special agreement between the UK and Ireland. It's like a free airspace, a free movement of like air people. Like, I don't know exactly how it works, but anyway. After that, my foot's falling asleep. After that, then I was like, oh shoot, I have to go somewhere else. So I had to book a last minute flight to Barcelona, and then I lost my wallet on the plane.
So you got back to the UK.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't stamp your passport. So then you're like, I need to go now and like do this again.
Yeah.
So then he had to book this last minute 300-pound flight to Barcelona. But then he got to Barcelona and realized he left his wallet on the plane. So he couldn't buy food.
I was stuck in the airport for 24 hours.
Without
I couldn't do anything. Yeah, it was horrible. And then to make matters worse, I was like, look, I'm gonna try to make the most of the situation. I'm just gonna watch Netflix and chill in the airport. And basically, it was right before Spain had Netflix. So I bought like the 24-hour Wi-Fi, which is like €5 or something, using my credit card that was on my computer.
Yeah.
And then realized I couldn't access Netflix either. So I was like, I really have
What'd you do for 24 hours?
I literally, and the benches all there have like these dividers so you can't even lay down on them. So I literally opened my suitcase, put some clothes on the floor, in the airport, and just laid there.
And cried yourself to sleep.
Yeah, and I was like, I really have hit rock bottom. Like I actually
Quite literally.
I did cry.
Oh.
I was crying.
I would cry too.
It was so stressful.
Yeah, I would cry.
So that's pretty embarrassing.
Oh God. Okay, so I mean, I hope that was good. There's a lot more, but unfortunately.
They all involve drinking and like, you guys don't need to know that about me.
Who is Daniel?
Oh,
That's an interesting question. I feel like we've already covered this.
Yeah.
So we've been friends since university.
A long time.
Very long time. Should we put a little sriracha on this, baby?
Yeah, we should. Where is the sriracha?
It's right here, actually. Oh, I'm gonna burp.
Uh-oh. I'm in love with this dish right here. It's so good. This one's good too. But I think this one's my favorite. And the Benny.
I knew you'd like this one.
The Benny is like so flavorful as well. Like,
yeah. So good.
So yeah, basically we met. I think I've talked in another video about how we met, but basically, again, not using any names, but a friend of a friend was like sleeping with this guy who happened to be in all of my classes. And this friend, she wasn't actually a friend of mine, but she was just like, oh, you need to like become friends with this guy and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, it's just like, that's stupid. But I did end up becoming friends with this guy because we had all these classes together, and he had a big crush on Rose. And so he introduced me to her in one of the classes that we had, and then the rest is history.
Daniel's twisting the truth a little bit. Anyways, either way, we became really good friends. Pretty much right away.
Yep.
And then, yeah, and then we've been friends ever since. Over 10 years.
God, so long.
You've been dealing with me for over 10 years. How do you feel about that?
Well, you've been dealing with me as well.
That's true.
I think we even each other out.
What's new with Dan?
Oh yeah, I haven't even got over to that side of the dish. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Just take it all.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. And this. And this. So yeah, that's who I am. Oh God. I'm seriously having some difficulties here, Rose.
Are you gonna be okay there? Okay, this one is... How do you deal with your friends / lovers who eat meat in front of you? Is it hard to manage? What do you think, Dan?
I think this is a perfect question for Rose. I mean, obviously it works better and it's like nicer if your partner is a vegan. Like it's just so much easier, like when you're going out, if you're traveling, whatever. But like
friends as well.
Yeah, friends as well. But like I have a lot of friends and parents and family who still eat meat. I think a big thing is just to be kind of like open and understanding of each other. And like my parents are really good. Like I'm here on vacation for 3 weeks and they've bought like a ton of like, you know, milk alternatives and all kinds of stuff. They've stocked the fridge with tons of stuff for me. So I think it's just about like understanding each other, I guess. And like even with friends now, like my friends will always make sure if we're picking somewhere to eat for dinner, they'll be like, oh, Daniel, don't worry. Like we checked the menu and there's like an option for you. Even if the option isn't always the best, but you know, it's like they're being considerate, you know? So I think it's the same with dating someone. As long as they're, you know, mindful of that and, you know, I think then it's... Yeah.
I think it's, I don't know. Like for me, it's tough and it's also, it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
So in terms of convenience and are they gonna, you know, eat with you and are you gonna be able to go out to eat together? Like I feel like those things can be just easily done as long as your friends are open-minded enough.
Yeah.
But I think it's more so that, you know, I guess from an ethical standpoint, it's hard to, you know, have friends or lovers or family that don't really get that side of you, which is a big side of you. And so that's tough.
Yeah, I think and again, I think it's important, like I think, I see what you mean with that point. Like, because I have friends that like, you know, continue to eat meat, will always eat meat. But like Christelle, for example, she said to us both, she's like, you know, she's not necessarily going to go vegan, but she 100% respects and understands. And she'll always bring it up. And she's like, I know what you guys are doing is, you know, it's super good. And like, you know, but I still think it's, it's a challenge. It's
a challenge.
Like, and I think you're right. It's not just about what you're eating. It's about your ideologies. And like I had an instance recently with recycling, and basically I've realized, because like, you know, something as like you would think not mundane, but like kind of like every day is recycling. You just take it for granted, but not everyone or every country is like really for recycling, I guess. And I really struggle with that because I'm like, you know, it doesn't take really any extra skin off your back, or it doesn't take anything. You really don't have to do much to kind of do
recycle.
So, and again, it's not just about recycling. It's about thinking, why am I recycling, or why am I being vegan? Well, it's not just about the food. It's about what it represents.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a tough
It's
one.
tough.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, imagine if you, it's tough because we, you okay?
Sorry.
It's tough because we live in this un-vegan world. We as vegans have to somehow navigate through this world, knowing what we know and believing what we believe. Because we're the minority still, and because the majority hasn't, I don't know, understood this yet. Not to sound condescending as fuck, but it's true.
They haven't kind of like, they're not.
They're not trying to.
They're not understanding the impact that this has, right?
Environmentally, also.
Exactly, Like ethics is a big part, but I've always said like, and I think, you know, obviously ethically it just makes sense.
Yeah.
The part that like, for me, that was kind of a bigger sway, which kind of makes me sound bad, but everyone has their own reasons, was more my impact on the environment. And like, we all know, well, maybe other than Trump, but like, we all know like what's happening in the world. You can see it, like the effects of global warming, what's going on. And like, by switching to a vegan diet, it's like you're making such a huge impact on that. Yeah. And that to me was really powerful, because I never, even before, like ethics aside, like with ethics, like I think everyone kind of knows, maybe not as fully, but like, you know that, okay, this meat came from an animal, right? Like, you know that part. But the environmental part for me was like the aha moment, like where I really had that kind of switch where I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is huge. And that's what I find it really interesting how like a lot of these kind of like environmental agencies, they talk about reducing your, you know, your carbon footprint and all this stuff. And they talk about lots of different things, but none of them talk about eating meat. So, and it's such a no-brainer. Like, it's now in the media. It's in, you know, you see these documentaries like Cowspiracy and stuff. It's like, you can't really refute the kind of scientific evidence to show. And yet, they're still not. But I guess, again,
it's because of the industries have so much power.
Yeah.
And so much money.
This is true.
Yeah. Anyways, we just got off on a tangent.
Yes, we did. God damn.
I can't talk.
I know, we're both struggling today. It was,
we had a few drinks last night.
Yeah, it was Pride in Calgary yesterday.
It was Pride, woohoo!
And I've never been because like I'm always away. And so actually I think it was you that was like, what are you doing for Pride? And I was like, let's do something. So yeah, us doing something turned into a few too many drinks.
We almost didn't go out last night because it was kind of rainy. But then we drank all day. Oh my god, I just want to puke just thinking about it.
Oh god, let's not. Let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about it, okay.
So if we seem a little bit slower than usual, that's why.
Oh god, I'm sleepy with all this food. How do you find and make vegan friends? I feel so lonely on this journey. Oh,
that's hard.
It's hard.
Well, I think it's kind of like how you make friends anywhere, really, right?
Yeah.
It's like, if you want to make vegan specific friends, I would recommend what you need to start doing is like, if your city or town has these things available, like events, like if there are events where, you know, like in London there was Veg Fest, there was like all sorts of other things. You just need to try to make yourself
meetups.
Exactly. Find out about meetups. You can like, there's also, is that website called Meetup as well, right? Is that what you're meaning? Yeah, so there's a website called Meetup. I think it's mostly for big cities.
Meetups.com.
Yeah. And it's like people will put events and there is a vegan community there as well. They'll say, we're going to this cafe. Like personally, I never have actually gone to any of those ones, but like that would be I think that would be a great way to kind of make some vegan connections.
That's probably the best way.
Yeah.
Going to like vegan events.
Yeah, I think that's the only way I could think really how to do it.
If you're in like university or something, they have like vegetarian vegan clubs on campus. That's also another way, but that's if you're like in university or maybe in high school even they might have stuff like that. It's tough.
It is tough.
It's not easy, but it's not easy to make friends in general, I think.
Well, this is it. It's like even just in general. This is why, again, I think like, to me, because I think this came up before like a while ago, but people were like saying, you know, would you be friends with someone that doesn't eat meat, blah, 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 blah. It's like, if you make a quality connection with somebody, like a friend, like, yes, it's hard. It is hard if they're not eating vegan, but like, you know, if you could, you know, ultimately, you know, you connect with that person, I think, you know, that's a good friend, you know? So I have a ton of really, really close friends, and actually Rose is the only one that's vegan. So, you know, I'm trying to think if I have any other vegan friends, actually.
I don't have many.
Yeah, I don't have very many either.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's nice to have vegan friends.
Of course,
you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't surround myself only with vegans.
Yeah.
Like, I would have no friends.
But
other than you.
It's like with anything in life. If you surround yourself with like only one type of person, you're kind of closing your mind off to like other people, you know? So like...
And you can influence people too.
Exactly, 100%.
So maybe you don't have vegan friends specifically, but maybe you have friends that are open to eating with you.
Exactly.
And maybe hearing what you have to say. And then maybe one day they'll become your vegan friends like Daniel became my vegan friend.
That's what happened with me.
Yeah. So yeah.
But I definitely think with your friends, it's not something that you should like try to force on them. It's something because like Rose was really good about that because she's been vegan for a while before I even went vegan, and she never once pushed it on her. I actually surprised her one day, and I was like, well, that was when I was vegetarian, but like still, she never was like.
I was shocked. You were in Newcastle, weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so full.
I know I'm getting really full too, but it's so good.
Keep eating, Dan. I feel like I ate most of everything.
That's normal.
Usually, oh my god. So like, we have this one mukbang that we did together. It was like a hot pot.
Oh yes.
And then like, and then I was like, oh my god, I ate everything. And Dan's like, I don't think so. And then later on, everyone commented, was like, Rose, you ate everything.
Let's save some food for your friend.
Oh my god.
He's gonna starve.
I just eat so fast and so much.
Oh, it's so good.
I eat just as much as Daniel, which is kind of crazy.
This is
you love it, don't you?
The best.
I knew you'd like that one.
Yeah.
I specifically knew. It's like Daniel likes the sauce.
It's because I like sauce. Yeah, but lots of sauce on that.
Lots of sauce. Okay, do you want kids? If yes, how many? And what about more pets? I mean, we could both answer that.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
To both answers. Maybe more pets, kids. I don't know. How many? Maybe 2.
It's a tough question.
Yeah. I would like to adopt, though, I always say. Would you adopt, Dan, or would you have your own?
Well, I think that's a medical impossibility, but...
No, it's not. They have technology nowadays.
True, I could get like a surrogate or something.
What do you think about that kind of technology, Dan?
No, but I think I would adopt as well, just because I think, you know, there's so many kids out there that need adopting.
It's so sad.
It is, and like I watched this really good program actually like ages ago, and it was about these like 2 young kids. The parents were having a difficulty like with them. One of them was a biological child, and one of them they had adopted.
Oh.
And the adopted kid was like really upset and just felt really kind of like not part of the family. And then it was like a moment that like still gives me chills. Basically, it was like a nanny that came in or something. I can't remember the show, but basically this nanny came in and sat down with the adopted child and was like, because the kid didn't feel special, and she's like, you should feel extra special, you know, like your parents had that, your brother or sister, whoever it was, but they adopted out of the love of their hearts. And I was like, that's so like it gives me like tears now.
It's so true.
But it is, because like biological kids, I mean, not saying that, you know, your parents didn't want to have you or anything, like, but it is something that like can happen, do you know what I mean? Whereas whereas an adopted child,
and it's like a long process.
It's a huge process. It's something that couple had to think about, and I just think, especially in today's world that we're in, I just think, you know, to each their own, but I definitely am going to adopt, because I think there's just so many kids out there that like need a loving home, and you know, you have the opportunity to kind of change somebody's life. You know, and
they should make it not super easy, but I feel like they make it too difficult. Because I feel like, you know, the thing is, this is messed up because anyone can have their own kids, right? No matter how crappy of a parent that they may be.
Exactly.
So there's something in your hair.
Oh God.
Oh my God, is that sweat? It's so wet.
I told you I'm really hot.
Anyways, adoption is very difficult. And I know that like, of course, they don't want to like adopt kids out to like some like shady family.
Exactly.
But I think that given our circumstance and how many kids need homes, I don't know, like, does it make sense for it to be so difficult? But maybe there's a lot of things I don't know, so I could just be ignorant.
And to be fair, we've never gone through that process. We've never tried to adopt, so we don't know.
I heard it takes years and so much money.
I've heard this as well.
So it deters people. Like, here's the thing, like, it deters people from doing that. So they're like, I want kids, but I might as well have my own, since it's gonna cost me so much more to adopt.
This is true. I don't know. It's
kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I never thought of that part of it, but I guess.
But anyways, I would rather adopt.
And you said you want to have 2, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to having my own.
Yeah.
But like, I don't have that like maternal like urge to have my own. Like, I want kids, but I don't. You know, they don't have to be my flesh and blood.
I guess a lot of this stuff would have to be a conversation with your partner as well, and what they want, right? So like. Maybe if you're with somebody and they're like really like want their own children, then that's a conversation that you have to have with them.
And tell them to carry their own goddamn baby.
I'm just kidding. And you would, wouldn't you?
I would. I'd be like, oh, you want your own? Well, then why don't you carry it for 9 months? But anyways, yes. So it would depend on the situation. Oh, how many do you want, Dan?
Like
how many little Daniels are gonna be running around?
Maybe like 1 or 2.
Oh, I think you should get at least 2. Because the one's gonna be lonely, you know?
That's true.
Although, you know what? I do have friends that are only children.
Only children, yeah.
And they turned out fine.
Fine-ish.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's like perfectly fine, but I have heard that it does get lonely.
Yeah, it can be hard. So I think, I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I mean,
this is not something we're thinking about for recent times, even though we're getting older and older.
Yes, it's true. And clearly, I mean, I need to have a partner first. So, well, I guess you don't have to have a partner, but it would be nicer to have like
Would you have kids if you didn't have a partner? Like, would you adopt a kid no matter what?
Potentially. I have to see like where I was in my career and life and everything, but like, I don't see why you have to have a partner to have kids.
That's true.
But it's something that's important to you, and like, I think especially like as we get older, I think it's something it's really nice to have the kind of a child.
Yeah.
It's almost a selfish reason.
It is. I definitely think like it's partially selfish at least.
Yeah, because it's like part of it's like, especially when you get really old, if you don't have like kids or grandkids.
Yeah.
Like it's lonely on that end. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's so lonely, isn't
and like
it?
you know, I like like I visit my grandma like all the time in London, and like she's in this like nice little like community and everything, but like, you know, if she had no kids, she wouldn't have like me visiting her, my other cousins, my, you know, our parents, that kind of stuff. So it'd be like a completely different, I guess you would just adjust your life, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely like at least partially selfish, because like most people want a family because you know that's how you end up not being lonely.
Exactly.
And we need to have some kind of unit, right? Like a family unit.
I think like humans like are naturally animals that are social. So I think even that's why like when I move and live in places and stuff too, like even if I could afford to get my own place right now, I kind of want to have a roommate. But just have that person there that's even, you know, just someone there, you know, just to like, and it's beneficial if you get along.
It's also bad if you don't get along.
No, true. It's on both sides. Like
you have to. I think it's good to have a roommate. It's better than not having a roommate as long as you get along to some degree.
This is true.
But yeah. Or you can just live in the same building as your friend.
That would be cool.
How about that, Dan? You want to move into my building?
Yeah. Well, not this one.
Not this one. So children, hey? Oh, pets. What about pets, Dad?
Yeah, I really want to. I thought about this. I want to get a dog.
Yes.
But the issue that I have right now is I feel like I'm not, even though I'm like old, I'm not like responsible. Not that I'm not responsible, but like I'm out a lot. Like I'm hardly ever home. And I just know that a dog is a huge responsibility. So I think it's more for when I get to that phase of my life where I'm home a lot more. And that like, you know, because then I can take a dog out for walks and give it the kind of life that it deserves, not just sitting at home by itself all day. So I think that's like really...
Have you ever had a dog?
No, I had a cat before.
Oh. Yeah, dogs are a huge responsibility. It's
Look
definitely...
at Nari.
Nari is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, this food is really good.
Finish it, Dad.
I'm trying. Next time I'll come in and actually be a paying customer.
It's okay.
Not just mooching off my friend, you know?
You're I'm using your labor in this video.
True.
Hold on.
Slave labor.
Your life is so hard. I make you eat a lot of food.
Are these all the questions?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you got so many.
Dance battle, go. Show us your signature move.
Do you have a signature move? Oh yeah, that's Rose's is like this. I don't know what it is. And then it's like a kind of, yeah.
What's your signature move?
Mine is like a chest pop. But I can't really do it. So it's like this.
We've eaten too much.
Yeah, it's too full to dance.
Wow, we like pretty much finished it.
I'm impressed.
You have to finish this, Dad.
Was there any doubts?
That's true. Do you think there will ever be a vegan world? Not in my lifetime.
Yeah, not in our lifetimes, I don't think.
But maybe one day. Maybe not completely vegan, just like there isn't, you know, we still have murders, we still have, you know, all kinds of crimes. But maybe from like a systemic point of view.
I'm hoping in our lifetime, and it kind of has already started, but we're gonna have like it started a bit, but like not to the scale that it should, but like we're gonna have a massive reduction in the amount of meat that people are eating. So we might not have like, in our lifetime, we might not have like a ton of vegans. I mean, the whole world vegan. But I think more and more people are starting to understand the impact, so they're like reducing their stuff.
Their stuff. Our brains aren't working.
I know, I'm like,
Let me see if there's one more question we'll answer.
Okay.
How would you suggest someone slowly becoming vegan? Do it slowly. That's not helpful. I would say I would probably start with like maybe one thing at a time, maybe. That's what I did. I mean, there's no right answer to any of this, but you have to do it at your own pace because sometimes people get too excited and they go vegan overnight and then it's a disaster. Yeah. Because they don't know what to eat and they don't eat properly and then they get sick or something. So maybe one thing at a time. Like I stopped eating meat first and then I stopped eating, like a month or two later, I stopped eating dairy and eggs. And then years later, I stopped eating fish. So it took me like a process. That's what I would do. Yeah. What do you think, Dad?
I think that's the same thing. I mean, you have to do what works for you, but I do think a lot of people, they get overexcited and it's good. Like it's good to be passionate about this stuff. Yeah. But then you're right. Then what they'll do is they'll go vegan overnight and they don't put as much thought as maybe they could through the process. And then they eat really bad. Yeah. And then they get sick. Yeah. And then they say, oh, actually I can't go vegan. I can't eat this because it's making my body sick. Well,
and your body's not used to it as well.
Exactly. So I think by going slow, it's the best. Like, or like, slowly phasing things out and like trying, but like even now, if you're not fully vegan, but like try cooking some vegan recipes.
Yeah, try with that first, maybe.
Yeah, and see how that tastes, see how you feel, and then slowly, like even just slowly reduce the amount of meat you're having. So like, and see how that goes for you.
I would say just start with stop eating meat, and then eat more like vegetarian style dishes, and then you can phase out, like, I think one ingredient at a time kind of thing. That would be my approach, because I don't really believe in this like reducitarian thing. I do it and I don't. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Ooh, you know what we have done?
Oh my gosh.
Banana bread.
Yay.
What was I saying? Yeah, so I don't really believe in reducitarian. Well, I do. Of course, it's better than, you know, not reducitarian, but because there's no line. Like, you don't have like a specific actual goal. It's kind of like when you make a goal like, oh, I'm gonna exercise more. That doesn't mean anything. So you could just, if you don't have anything specific planned, if you don't have any specific rules, you're probably not gonna do it.
Intangible outcomes.
Yes. So it's like when I say, oh, I'm just gonna start eating healthy, that doesn't actually mean anything if you think about it. So that's why I believe in like maybe starting with like getting rid of meat and saying, I'm not eating meat. Or even if you do want to do vegetarian, you could be like, okay, like
I'm allowed meat 3 times a
certain
week.
days. Yeah, certain days I don't eat meat and certain days I'll allow it. And
like
then you slowly.
Monday.
Exactly. And then you slowly kind of get, but something needs to be like specific in that sense. I need to blow my nose.
Uh-oh. And I think that's like what, you know, that question about the vegan world. I think that's what's going to happen more in our lifetime is see more and more people be this kind of reducitarian.
Yeah.
Like I could see that being a bigger movement.
Cut it in half. Here, you can have more.
Okay.
Since you be a bigger person than I is.
Is that a fat joke?
Yes, I'm calling you fat, Dan. Cheers. Have you had a banana bread yet?
I haven't.
Oh, it's so good.
I do love banana bread. It's like one of these things that reminds me of childhood.
It's so good. Our banana bread is the best. Our everything is the best.
Our everything is the best.
I'm not biased at all.
This is good.
You didn't cut down on meat first, did you? Is that what you did?
No, actually. I went vegetarian overnight.
I feel like you have to do it that way.
Yeah.
Because, like, again, it's idealistic to be like, I'll cut down on meat. Even if it's for environmental reasons, whatever.
Yeah.
Or health reasons. But
if there's no tangible action.
If you don't have strict rules, kind of, you're just gonna be like, oh, look, I'll just have it today. Tomorrow I won't. You know, it's kind of like that.
Exactly. And then you don't really realize what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? It's like January New Year's resolution. I'm gonna be healthier. I'm gonna work out more. But what does that mean? Are you working out like 1 day a week or 4 days a week? Like you need to make a kind of. So I think by doing that, you can actually get. What am I trying to say? I can't speak. By doing that, you actually get to the outcome you're wanting, versus just like kind of saying these things.
Yeah.
And like, oh.
So yes, that's our expertise.
Take it or leave it.
Oh my god, I think I'm gonna gain 50 pounds when you're here.
I mean, how many Beyond Burgers have you had this week, Rose? About 17? Even when I'm not around, I'll come and see Rose, and Rose will be like, oh yeah. I'll be like, oh, what's that smell? Oh, I just had a Beyond Burger. I'm like, another one.
They're just so good.
They are. They're amazing. I love them.
And they're convenient. This is bad. I should not be eating Beyond Burgers all the time. Yeah. Like, it's not a good idea. But it's just convenient, you know? But it's expensive. Like, Beyond Burgers are not cheap.
I know they're quite. How much are they at the grocery store?
They're pretty thick, so they're different from the A&W ones. I feel like the A&W ones are thinner. But the ones at the grocery store are like $4 a patty.
What?
I know. It's probably I think it's gonna go down in price. But actually I'm not sure because right now there's no competitor in the market.
This is it.
Yeah.
So they have a monopoly.
Exactly. So until they become, there needs to be another competitor. Maybe Impossible Foods.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, guys, so we're gonna wrap this up. We've pretty much finished all the food. I have a little bit of rice left over here, but you know, no big deal. What you think of the food, Dad?
So good.
So good.
So good.
Would you be a paying customer, Dad?
Yes. Before I go, I will come and I will buy something from your cafe.
Oh, will you?
Support local, you know?
Support local, guys. Support local business. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. What else do they need to do, Dan?
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, follow Rose, aka Cheap Lazy Vegan, on Instagram and on Twitter, Facebook.
Both, yes.
Twitter
all of
Facebook.
the above. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.